Alright, what's going on? So we just got back from seeing the Lego Batman movie.
I'm home. I'm home.
A few years ago, they made the Lego movie. It was a monster hit. And so to follow up with it, they're actually, they are making the Lego movie too. But what they also decided to do was to make the Lego Batman movie, and they took the Batman character from the Lego movie, who was voiced by Will Arnett, and put him into his own movie over here, and it came out just fantastic. And in fact, like right when you sit down and after you see all the previews, you're probably gonna see another preview of. You'll probably see a preview of the next Lego movie with his Lego Ninjago, which also looks good. But unfortunately, I wasn't into the Ninjago series, so I'm not that excited for it as I am for Lego Movie 2. But once all those is over, the screen turns black, and from there, and I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys because it's like one of the first things that happens, and it is just hysterical. I don't want to take that away from your movie going experience, but just from those opening seconds right there, it really shows you the tone of this movie, and it starts from there and just continues on to the very end, and it does not, it like what's actually really good is it does not lose that energy at all. It goes from there to the end, in which it was just fantastic. So some of the cool things about this movie is that it makes a lot of references to just past Batman, just past Batman things. Like it, there's one segment where they talk about every movie. I mean, they even go to like even the 1940s serials.
16 in 2012 and 2008 and 2005 and 1997 and 1995 and 1992 and 1989 and that weird one in 1966.
They go into that. Like there's at one point where they even talk about some of the TV shows. They actually reference the 1960s Adam West one a lot, and I'm actually kind of surprised Adam West actually never does actually lend his voice to any of the characters, which kind of surprised me there. Just as much as they reference it, but like we actually get like live action clips of the old Adam West TV series, and there's a lot of like Batman Easter eggs, like just everywhere. So if you like, one of the things that they had that I really appreciated. I'm a huge Batman Beyond fan. I loved that series a lot, and if you really pay attention with the bat suits and just really keep that keen eye, you actually do get to see the Batman Beyond suit over there, and it was actually really cool. Actually, was really happy to see it. Uh, for you eagle eyes out there, just to let you know, when Robin gets his suit, pay attention over there, and that's when you'll actually see the Batman Beyond suit, which I was like, oh yeah, the Batman Beyond. So not only we get references to the Batman character and everything, we also get a lot of obscure villains, which I was really surprised. I mean, we have Condiment King, who looks exactly like he did in the Batman animated series. We even get the Eraser, and the only reason I know about this guy is because to win tickets to go see the Dark Knight Rises, I had to make reference to a obscure villain that I wouldn't think anyone else would have known, and I actually submitted the Eraser, and that's the only reason I know this guy, because I just went in on the internet at that time and just to find someone obscure, and I actually won tickets to go see Batman Rises that year, which was awesome. So, and if you guys don't know what he looks like just a big pencil, and his head is an eraser. Well, we get all those villains and everything, which was actually really cool. So this is an animated movie directed towards kids. Usually, with what that means is that there's always like a life lesson, and everything, and that's what kind of is like the central theme to most of these anime kid movies. I mean, Pixar and Disney, they do it so well, and this movie actually does do it well too, in which it really fits in Batman. And basically the central theme is family, and it really goes well, especially with Batman. Oh, he was an orphan. He and then he meets Dick Grayson, who's also orphan, almost has like almost the same story as he does. They make references to that and everything. And like as the movie progresses, we see that like why Batman shouldn't be a loner and why he should go with why he should start having his own Bat team. I will say for Dick Grayson, they obviously chose the child version of Dick Grayson, which I think actually makes a lot of sense, just because you do want like Batman to relate to an actual child. I didn't really have a problem with that or anything. The only thing I thought it was really weird was the design of Robin. They actually chose him to have like these wide-eyed goggles kind of look glasses thing, and it gets tinted green, and it looks more like the Carrie Kelly Robin than the Dick Grayson Robin. And then just I mean, as a running joke, he's constantly like just ripping off his pants, basically make himself looking like the Burt Ward Robin with like the no pants Robin. I mean, mainly for comedic effects and everything, but that also does also apply to Carrie Kelly's costume. I didn't mind it too much. I think I'd rather have Robin with with just a mask instead of the wide glasses like that. But it does make him more unique. Speaking of unique, so Barbara Gordon's also in this movie, and just to let you guys know, if you follow the Batman comics and you follow the cartoons, the movies, everything that like has like Barbara Gordon in it, you will know what she actually becomes. And obviously, if you're looking right here, you know that character is also in the movie too. Barbara, which surprisingly, she has more of a tanned skin, and who's played by Rosario Dawson. She's been in a few of the live action Marvel TV shows currently, the direct-to-video DC animated movies. So it's just kind of funny how they chose like her from Wonder Woman now to Barbara, and they give her Rosario Dawson's Latin flair into the actual character itself, which actually I kind of like. Actually, it just mixes her up a little, and not only is she Latin. Jim Gordon, his voiced by the old guy from Last Man Standing.
Batman was part of my childhood, and I can't remember life without Batman.
So he was also the replacement therapist for Monk. He voices Jim Gordon. He also has his Spanish accent in there too, just kind of make them more related and everything, it was a nice little touch. And actually, I kind of liked it. I kind of liked that they didn't make her the typical white woman and everything, or I should say white Lego. Not only does Batman have relationship issues with Dick and Barbara, he also has relationship issues with Joker. And so there's at one point where Joker, he gets all sad because he finds out that Batman doesn't see him as his greatest enemy, and he actually gets this really sad face and everything. And once that happens, my wife just goes and looks at me and she says, "We need to get a Joker figure." So we got a Joker figure. So she really liked his facial expressions over there, and it was actually done really nice. Well, not only does Batman fights, his Batman villains. At one point, Joker he meets up with a bunch of other villains from other franchises. Now, when this happens, I get this Lego Dimensions kind of feel, and like it felt to me more like Lego Dimensions than the Lego movie, and especially the characters they chose. It's a lot of people from Warner Brothers franchises and few from Paramount out of all places. There no Disney in there, so unfortunately, no one from Marvel, no one from Star Wars. But who we do have, like we get Voldemort, who's actually voiced by Ralph Fiennes, and like he also voiced Alfred. We even get Gremlins, and like as soon as the Gremlins show up, the my first thought was they just brought Gremlins to Lego Dimensions. There's characters from Lord of the Rings. They also have the Daleks from Doctor Who. Now here's the funny thing about it though, which I really noticed, and they don't actually call them Daleks. They actually call them British robots. I don't know. I'm not sure if like if BBC allowed them to use it just because Lego already has the license to use Doctor Who characters, and they made a deal that since they already have that, as long as they don't call them by name. It's just really weird, and it was something that really stood out to me. So even like these super serious villains that like they get Legofied, and they are, I mean, they are as comical as everything else you expect from the movie. I mean, the Eye of Sauron like ends up fighting Batman and everyone in Gotham, and just the fact that the Eye of Sauron is doing things goofy is actually just a very hilarious concept. Movie wise, you get the sense of like they're not like characters that just happen to be Lego. They are very aware that they are Lego, and that actually comes up in the climax on how they actually resolve the big problem at the end. There's actually points where Batman actually calls himself a master builder, reference to the Lego movie, and like he will actually go and just build stuff whenever they need stuff. They'll actually take things apart. Your typical like Lego humor's in here, and the fact is like they really use that to their advantage. Animation wise, it's animated just like the Lego movie, where it's CGI with stop motion, and it makes it look everything real. They have like the movements that only Lego pieces can do. They can't unlike like like one of these kind of movies where they only bend on the limitations of Lego. That's still in there. When things explode, it's Lego pieces. Like they really build this world to make sure that it is practical. That if someone has the time to actually recreate this movie by hand, they can. The facial expression is actually really cool, and something actually I really liked, and maybe I noticed it more because this movie, the nature of this movie, everything's dark. We see the reflections off of the characters, and it actually reflects like real. Like it does that the whole real effect. Like when it goes onto Batman's chest, um, when we see the light through, we see like the painted parts on his chest actually like shines out more than the rest. Just like a real light would come in and do on an actual Lego piece. All the details they put into this movie really shows through, and it really makes it enjoyable, and it just makes it just real. Like if you guys really enjoyed the Lego movie, you will really enjoy this one. I will say I really enjoyed this movie. I felt the Lego movie was actually better, but that didn't take away from this movie. This was a really enjoyable movie. I can't wait to see it again. This is a kind of movie that I would definitely share with a lot of people, especially family and friends. And you go in there, you have a good time. The energy from beginning to end never gets too preachy, it never gets too silly. It just finds that right ballot. Now, I will say, you know, at one point they do make references to one of the best Batman cartoons out there, and that is Batman the Animated Series. But they do ignore a lot of other Batman series, like surprisingly nothing from Beware of the Batman. It's almost like Warner Brothers and DC wants you to forget that ever existed. But now, if you did not like the Lego Movie, this movie is not going to make you change your mind about that. But if you enjoyed the Lego Movie, you definitely got to go see this. Now, if you guys see the movie, let me know what did you think about it. Did you guys enjoy it as much as I did? And what was your favorite Batman reference? All right, till next time, guys. All right, see ya.